have, first of all, we see how to set up chart of accounts. This is under setup, chart of accounts. Okay, you have chart of accounts, and this is description for chart of accounts. Okay, this is main account, name, and the account type. This is all of your chart of accounts. You have another access from common main accounts here. This is all for accounts. If you find you have different main account types, okay, like total, balance sheet, whatever, okay, you can export this data to Microsoft Excel also, as is integrated. If you find here balance sheet and profit and loss and total accounts. So this is all your chart of accounts.
So what's the meaning of total? Explain that. What's the meaning of total, balance sheet?
We will say all of this details. We will open new account and see how to create new account and what's the different types of the account types.
No, when you're saying
total, yeah.
Total, balance sheet,
total,
and profit and loss, how it is used and what is the use of this, and somebody is going to create an account where it will reflect.
Okay, for example, if you have a total account, it will be sub account. See here, for example, current assets. Okay, you will find here, as you have say setup that is total, that means total of accounts from value to value. Okay, so if you check on the balance of this account, it will consider the total of the accounts which is set up for this account. Okay, for example, if you have total accounts for bank accounts, it will, and you have in setup here, you have here, let's see, account type total. You can make like this filter by selection. Okay, this is one cash on hand.
It means it's a main account. And
main account also.
This account there is many accounts.
It's one account included
many accounts.
Many accounts. If you check the balance of this total account, it will consider the sub accounts.
Okay. So you can make entries into this account. How do you make entries? If you make transaction, you can make transaction here.
No, you can't.
So you have to say that to us.
It will not come in the chart of in the general ledger transaction. You can't see this account.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's the use?
Only for reporting. Only for reporting.
Which report it will come?
Any reporting. You can consider this report like as a report for financial reports or whatever. If you inquire about this total accounts, it will give you the account balances for the sub accounts, but you can't make any transaction for this account.
So how we can make best use of it in general ledger?
Best use of general ledger for which?
Like how we can use this facility in system in general ledger, where we can use?
You will use only in reporting. For example, if you need to inquire for cash on hand, only for cash on hand without to know all the sub accounts. For example, let's remove. For example, you have here this account. More equal. You have here cash on hand, yeah? What is the sub accounts of cash on hand? Which is cash, petty cash? Okay, right? Cash and petty cash. And cash on hand, I can set up here the sub accounts, which is from this account to this account.
And it can be changed. Okay.
Yes, can be changed anytime, no problem. So you can use it in reporting. Instead of create report and include the sub accounts, you can set up in the report only the total accounts. You can in the report say cash on hand and enter this account only, which is total account. Okay?
Do they understand all of them? Everybody understood? Yes. Where we will use this? Where we can use?
In reporting.
In reporting and managing our data, right?
Managing data, managing if you will use.
I'll explain them one point. Say this is a feature. Like this is a main account. Like if we understand, this is a main account, and under this there are sub accounts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like how we can use intelligently. This is the one where if you want to report to have only current assets, it will show total. But if you want to all of them, then it will show the detail. Now, in general ledger trial balance, suppose you have one expenses account, camp expenses, okay, and you recharge also to project. So recharge account is under it, and main account is camp expenses. Camp, you have electricity, you have water, you have maintenance, staff salary, other charges, and then you have a camp expenses recharge to projects. So what will happen? You will show your details are there, 6 or 7 account and under the recharge, and then you can club them under that one main account which is called camp expenses. What will happen in your reporting? Camp expenses will appear as a net of all accounts. So you know whether I'm charging, I'm recovering my cost correctly, yes or no. This is how you can use it. This is how you should tell them. Okay, so this is a clever way of using your account and sub account. So going forward, like the same way you can do, like your cash, all kind of cash you can club together, all kind of impress you can club together, all, isn't it? All kind of bank you can club together to see a brief and detail also. Yeah, please.
Okay, so this is the chart of accounts. How to create new main accounts in your chart? Just click on new main account. Okay, you have here main account and the main account name. First question,
You need tea, coffee, anything? Paul,
maybe
bring in coffee.
Nescafe.
Anybody need?
Okay, so you can add here main account if we need to add any new account, cash and bank.
Create a test main account.
Okay.
What's the problem? Show them example.
Yes, it will be like this. It will be 3. Cash. Okay, this you have created the main account and enter the name cash test. For example, select the level of main account to display. You have two options: to be on your chart of accounts, okay, or to be for specific company. As you know, at ERP you can create multiple companies, so you can set up on the chart of accounts. If you click chart of accounts, it will be default for this chart of accounts, which is you have open now in the system. But if you choose company, you can select which company you need to activate this account. You can select this company, you can select another company, whatever. Okay. What is the main account type? You have several main account type like profit and loss, revenue, expense, balance sheet, asset, liability, equity, total, reporting, and count. Okay. You can say balance sheet and you can say more details like asset, liability, equity, and total. And you can say also profit and loss, but you can say more details like revenue, like expense, whatever. Okay. You can categorize also your main accounts. Okay, like this. All depreciation accounts, you can make it as a categorization for accumulated depreciation. Okay, for OP you can add your all AP accounts, all AR accounts, or accounts for cash equivalents, common stock, whatever you can. So you can make categorizations for your accounts. You can use this categorization also for reporting. You can report with categorizations. Okay, you can use.
Can we just have a look at the categories which are available? We can define more categories also.
Yes, no problem.
We can. Can you just scroll down, please?
Just
On the categories.
yes, you can select the categories. Okay, cash, and you can link the accounts here. What is the accounts you need to include in the cash accounts? Okay.
You can select.
Yeah,
You need to be in the sequence.
you can link. Yeah, you can link. Okay, link is the account, and by default system will generate. Okay, what is the account for cash? For example, if we select this one and this one, and then
this is a very strong feature. Like we have our cost ledgers, we have different type of project cost, right, Michelle?
Yeah.
How we are doing in micro, we are clubbing those together. You remember, for making reports.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like project cost ledger, you can link those accounts to particular
Okay,
category.
see me project
And these are
cost.
material.
Plant and equipment.
Yeah, like this.
For example, where is project cost? Let's see, project cost.
So you guys need to ask the question. Active learning is important. Okay?
51700 and say start with. We have here project cost, other direct, whatever.
We have already defined 4 or 5 types, but somebody want to have more detail, like project utility expenses you want to have. Right now it is classified in prelims. So you can create another main account which is clubbing only those 4 accounts. And you can have your reports on that basis.
You can generate reports according to the categories.
There's no financial dimension.
No, not financial dimension. It's
This is
separate.
just clubbing your accounts into a group.
After you clubbing these accounts, you can use the financial dimension to generate the reports.
Even if you extract, you cannot see the financial dimension.
You can see.
You can or you cannot? You can?
You can. That's an
See,
additional.
you have the main accounts, and first reporting build is to build the main accounts or categorizations.
Let's say we did the category that.
Okay, what is the focus you need to on the categorization? You can focus on the department, you can focus on the cost centers, you can focus on the project.
Okay, you can add this criteria.
You can report with this criteria on separate dimensions. Okay. So how to make this function? Only to link the accounts. For example, if you need to make category for depreciation, okay, what is the accounts for depreciation? Contains all this have accounts for depreciation, right?
Okay.
This is one for, this is depreciation expense, right? Which is included all this. If I need to make a category, you can add here main account category. You can use it as main account category. You can say here which category you need to add. For example, it will be included as depreciation expense.
If you want to know, suppose depreciation expenses on small items, for example, less than 1,500. So first you define the categories and then you can club those accounts into one to say depreciation on small items.
See here, as we have said, the main account categories, category called cash. You can define your pre-owned categories, okay, and here you can link the accounts to the category.
Can you repeat please regarding the depreciation?
Here,
Yes.
main account categories. Let's see. You have here under general ledger setup, chart of accounts. You have here main account categories.
Okay.
Okay, you can define your pre-owned categories here. Like we have category for cash. Add all accounts related to this category, which is cash. Here, how to link the category with this accounts in the chart? Just click on link main accounts. Okay, so it's linked cash and petty cash.
Okay.
We can link this accounts also. Cash test. Okay, and if you click a code, okay, it will be included in the category. Okay, you can generate reports instead of see each account is separate. You can generate report according to the category, which is here the category for cash and the cash equivalents. The system will give you the balance for these three accounts under cash equivalents.
No, you are talking about the depreciation.
Okay, no problem. Any accounts you need to create category for, you can. If we are talking about depreciation, you can make category for depreciation, and all the accounts related to depreciation, included all the asset acquisitions, accumulated, and depreciation expense.
It could be like that.
And you can generate report according to depreciation category. System will give you the net balance.
System will show you based on the categories that you choose.
Okay.
قدر معاك واحنا بنطلع الريبورتس او كده ازاي تطلع تقريبا بناء على category. Back again for the main account screen. We have created this account and we assign main category already as a cash. we need to change the main account type as here as asset. Okay, we have many options also here, like debit credit proposal. What is the function of debit and credit proposal? If this is account, you need system to propose that this account will be usual debit. Okay, when you create any voucher on system, by default the cursor will be go to the debit side. Okay, this is proposal. Requirement, if you click requirement, system will require you to pay as debit or credit. So for example, all expenses will be, you can make it as a requirement as debit. Anyone need to reverse expense should be get approval from higher level in order to open this function for you to reverse the expense. Okay.
And what about balance control?
Okay, balance control, sum of accounts, its type is always balanced accounts. Okay, we will see it in details as the bank accounts. Will be more details in bank accounts. We will discuss this in more details.
Okay.
For bank.
What is the general nature of this? What does that mean?
General ledger for what?
A general nature of this balance control. How does it function in the system?
We will see it in the bank account. It will be in detail.
Okay.
But anyway, you can any accounts that is usual balanced, the system will require you this account to be balanced. This account must be balanced. Okay.
Balance means what? It cannot have any amount. It will be zero always. Or what does that mean?
It will be not like this. It will be sum of accounts. It's usually to be balanced as debit or balanced or credit.
Okay.
To be balanced as debit or balanced or credit.
Okay.
If balanced as debit, it should be greater than zero, like that, or
It will be should then more than zero.
greater.
Yes. Okay. Related accounts, you have here offset accounts. Some of if you need to, for example, or expense to have specific offset account, other account, you can add it here.
How we can use this offset account? Give us some example if you can.
We will see example. Some of accounts. What is for specific expense? You can these expenses can be from petty cash. Okay. So if you say here the offset account is petty cash, all of these expenses will be the offset account by default is the petty cash account. Okay, while creating your JV. And if you select this expense, for example, where is expense? You have here any expense.
For example, stationery.
Where is the stationery? From 5 or 6?
5 or 6 you can search. So it will tell us also how to search. You can search by name.
5 are cost, 6 are expected.
Yeah, it's
You
cool.
can search by name. So we will learn also how to search.
For example, stationaries.
Stationery, yes.
Okay, and then click
This contain, yes.
contains.
No stationery.
Office, hot office.
Office.
Yeah, now see.
This one.
Rental office consumables.
Okay, office consumable, let's say.
Okay, if we have office consumables, okay, you can, if this office consumables you pay from petty cash, you can say here offset accounts is petty cash.
So this will come as a by default, but you can always write it.
Okay, if you say this is by default, every transaction system will you create to be on this account, which is office consumables, the offset account will come by default to be this petty cash account. And you can also make it as office consumable to be requirement to be debit. So the offset will be by default this account. Okay. We have also administration. Don't allow manual entry. Some of accounts you don't need anyone to create manual entry. Like what? Depreciation accounts. All depreciation accounts come from system, which should be balances between sub ledger and ledger. So in order to maintain the quality of this account, we can't allow any person to post any transaction for this account. For example, you have AP, AR, whatever. You have an AP accounts for AP. Okay, if you look at it, you will find here, it will be more clear in the. For example, also for bank account, البلاد bank account. This is main account in the chart, right? But the balances for this account is not come from the transaction on this account. It comes from the subledger, which is a sub account. Every transaction you create in a subledger while you choose it as a bank account, it will affect both the subledger and ledger. Through the posting profile, which we have taken an idea last session. Okay. So for account, we have click this checkbox, which is don't allow manual entry. Okay. Active from and active to. If I need to make activation for this account for a specific period, and then I will close. So I can use active from and active to.
Can you go on with the same screen, previous one?
Previous one?
Yeah. There was something which I wanted to ask, okay?
Okay, no problem.
No, before, just before this.
Before this?
Where you were explaining, yes.
This one?
Can you go back, yeah?
This screen?
Yeah, okay, go click, double click. You have opened that screen actually. There is something actually which I want to understand. What is the mandatory reference? Like here, please explain us. What does it mean and how it is all this? Please explain so that we can start to think how we can use this best. Okay? Explain us.
Okay, you can here use as a suspend account. Suspend account, you can't do any transaction with this account as suspend account. Foreign currency evaluation, if this accounts will be considered in the foreign currencies transactions. Some of accounts like bank accounts or petty cash may be considered for currency revaluation. Okay, like what currency revaluation? If you generate invoice with a rate and another rate will be applied, okay, while payment. So you can make function called foreign currency evaluation, which you can reevaluate the exchange rate. After evaluate the exchange rate, you have four options. You have from here, let's see. You may have realized gain or realized loss, or unrealized gain or unrealized loss.
Actually, you know the difference between realized loss and unrealized gain?
No.
Yeah, let's say for the unrealized, we have several accounts, either AP, AR with its own real,
AP mainly.
or banks, let's say cash and banks. So if you have foreign currencies there, at the end of the month, you run a transaction to evaluate those balances based on the, let's say 3112, how much the rate was for you.
Okay.
The system will calculate how much gain and loss realized from this difference of exchange. If it was 4.5, let's say, and now it is 4.32. So the system will do this computation and he will give you a figure, how much it is. So it will be posted where? And the unrealized loss or gain, because it's not realized. It will not realize any gain or loss. So it will sit there. However, if you do a transaction, you pay for an invoice in euro, this is realized gain or loss because you're paying. Either you make a profit or a loss, so it will go and sit in the realized gain or loss.
So it will affect on our cost and right?
Of course. But there is a difference between unrealized and realized. So you know what is the difference?
As a balance sheet date, the loss or gain on foreign currency assets or liabilities or income or expense could be a realized loss, unrealized one. And when you make a transaction, as Afiq explained very well, so then it gets realized. So the difference will go into exchange difference account, unrealized loss or realized loss or gain, you know, and the cost will be treated accordingly. Liabilities will be treated accordingly.
You have here also close if you close this accounts. Okay. You have also allocation. What is the meaning of allocation? Some of expenses we have says that you can allocate to separate department or separate account. For example, marketing expenses, water and electricity, whatever, you can allocate it, these expenses with different percentage. For example, where is water expenses and electricity? You have here electricity.
This we can use it in our vacations and
Vacation,
vacation expenses and
vacation expenses.
allocated. لما احنا عم نوصل provision كل شهر بشهره.
It's different. We have payroll system now. We have payroll system. It's different. Some of expenses like water and electricity. Maybe clear example. Water and electricity come for all departments, right? But if you need to allocate each department with specific percentages, like for example, HR with 10%, finance, you can make it like this. Yes. But provision, I think it's different. For vacation, for provision,
It's calculated from payroll.
it's calculated, automatic calculated from the payroll system.
That's based on attendance. You know allocation and appropriation. What's the difference?
Allocation and
Appropriation. Anybody know? You can talk also. No? Allocation is, see, based on some principle you are allocating the expenses. And appropriating is like you are finding the basis and putting the proportion there. Like you have payroll. You rightly talk payroll. Payroll, you have a salary plus gratuity. So you know which project he worked. Based on his time spent on the job, you appropriate the cost. You distribute the cost. But allocation is based on percentage. You are empirically allocating 5%, 10%. That's the difference. You understand my point?
yeah.
Okay? So when you spread the cost based on some logic or some resources, then it is appropriation. So this is allocation rule you can put. Here one good point was there, Mr. Mohammed, if you can explain. What is this button for? View cash flow forecast. Suppose you have a bank ledger. When you are reaching there,
Only for accounts which you can use in the cash flow, the expected cash flow accounts. For example, the AP accounts, the AR accounts. According to the aging, our system can see you how the cash flows is for this accounts.
Where does it fall in the cash flow? It will show us what?
As a screen.
As what? You will show us later how.
Yeah, in the accounts receivable.
like accounts payable, you have a aging. Right? This is what probably you can correct me if I understood it right. So based on that, it will calculate the amount
Expected
due and which will hit your cash flow on certain date. Suppose one invoice is 10th January and it is payable in after 60 days. So after on that date, it will show you cash flow outflow basically.
Try to go to the AR so that it will not be gray area.
So in
not
the
now.
AR also it will show inflows, right?
Yes.
So you can accounts receivable, it will show you inflow based on
Expected cash flow.
Same.
I'm asking to see how it will look.
How it will be, it will be in the receivable module. It will be in the receivable module. You can see it, how it works. View cash flow forecast or
Because we
whatever.
have captured some invoices in training, so we can see that how those affect the cash flow. That's how he's asking.
Okay, in the AR module, because it maybe require some extra setup.
Oh, well.
So if you select an AP account, it will not show that.
It's not in the training, so I need to test before
Yeah.
I check it with you.
Okay, please test it when you are ready.
Okay.
You can show us.
You have here also, as we have allocation, this is allocation option. If you need to allocate any accounts, for example like this. See, I can mark as allocation. Give me any expense you need. For example, you need to allocate. Let's say it's 5. This is all. Make it 6. For example, if you need to allocate the internet expenses, you can make it like this. Allocation. can mark as a company. You can mark here as allocation. What is the allocation terms here? Allocation terms. You can to allocate on the dimension and the main accounts also. Okay. What's the problem? So the internet expenses you can allocate for separate. It's too early now. Okay. So for example, if you need to allocate, if you need to allocate, for example, for 20%, for which department? For example, for this department. Okay, business development by 20%. Okay. Another department with 10%. Okay. So every transaction you create in system, okay, you have source and destination. Okay. For example, for this internet expense, if you usually get this as a dimension for here as an allocation, we can head office, for example.
Can I ask?
Where is head office?
Head office is a business unit, not a department.
Okay, business unit.
Yeah,
Okay. So if you register this internet expenses on the head office, and then this is a source, okay, and you have and you need system to allocate this amount from internet expenses and head office to separate business unit or separate dimension, you can add here the allocation terms with specific percentage. Yes.
As you are closing every month, the depreciation cost will be charged for each project as percent. So we can use it here. No, we can't.
We have the fixed asset register by location, so automatically it will post to each project.
Automatically.
Each asset has a project dimension.
أنا ما بعرف شيء percentage صار كله by location by يعني the financial dimension.
If you need, if the fixed asset changes from a project from the fixed asset changes the asset project.
نحن نغير الاسset. We say that this was in Portugal, now it is in let's say RTCC.
اوكي. بس لو كنا عم نشتغل عليها مثل قبل هيك كان فينا نستعملها صح؟
كان ممكن تستعمل يعني انت عايز تحمل اي بروجكت expense على projects نفسها. Okay, so this is the allocation function. By default, system will reverse the first transaction or create new entries according to the new dimensions. Okay. You have here also many functions for consolidation. If you have consolidation account, closing type, offset account, opening account. Okay. This is for general. For setup, okay, if you are using taxi group, if there is currency, specific currency for this account, and system to validate this code, if this account specific for specific users. Okay. This is for management reporter. Management reporter is separate account, a separate application for financial reports. Maybe in your license we can check if it's if you have already bought this application or not. Financial statement is financial statement default in system. Okay. This is for advanced rule. We'll check it in details. Okay, to create new account, what is the mandatory fields you need to add here? The main account, name, company level, okay, the account type. This is most important fields. Main account, name, level, which company, what is the account type. What is the account type is very important. Sure, you know why? If you select this account as an expense account, on this account while closing it will be affected, it will be zero accounts. So you need to make sure from each account what is the account type.
Wait, brother, I will add something there. For example, in 1 year, no, we have existing account, we have a particular existing account. Then on the 5th month,
We have what?
you go back to the
Main
earlier
account
with
screen.
the deactivate and activate. You have option there to activate and
Yes.
deactivate, right?
Yes.
So for a particular period of time, let's say 1 year, on the 5th month, you decided to deactivate a certain account. It has balance, you can deactivate it? No. This is my question.
What is the
You
meaning of
have option
activated?
here,
It's not.
active, deactivate, right?
It's not allow user to create any transaction on this account. This is the meaning of activation. Whatever it
Okay.
have balance or not.
I will just okay.
So you prevent any user to make any account which will hit this account.
If it's on the activate status, you prevent. Even if it has balance, even if the
No,
account
we
has
ask
balance.
whatever it have balance or not. It's your issue if it have balance or not.
Okay. Just prevent from posting. Okay.
Okay. This is for chart of accounts. Chart of accounts is clear. All of us have looked for chart of accounts, which is in system. All of us take a look for chart of accounts. As you know, this is for chart of accounts. We recommend that you take a look for chart of accounts, okay, and see all the accounts which is in system. For example, all accounts which starts with 1, which is will be as assets, as balance is asset. Okay, you have 2 as a liability, 3 as owner's equity, 4 as revenues, 5 as operation cost, 6 is expenses. You have 7 for zakah or what? No, zakah is already included in 6 accounts. Okay.
What if you're going to add another account and it's just a double name?
Some of companies prefer to be zakat to be separate.
What if somebody decides to add another account but it's already there?
No,
The system will.
who will add the account? Who have the privilege to add new account?
Precisely, this is my question.
Yeah, the privilege we can give securities for the person who need to open new account.
Okay.
All the accounts is already included.
With approval only you can add accounts, you cannot add.
Okay, if you find while you're using transaction and enter your daily work, if you find any accounts which is not included in system, you can ask your direct manager. Okay, and if you make sure and you have get a solution to create new account, okay, ask him to create new account because it will require more setup.
And also removing, the system will inform you not to remove a certain account.
If you enter the main account with the same code, the system will not allow.
Yes.
But with different code system, I will allow, of course.
Yes.
If you have access to create your main account.
And removing a certain account with balance, the system will not allow.
Remove.
If you're going to remove a certain
You
account,
can't.
if it has balance.
Any account have any posted transaction, you can't remove. You can't edit the nature of transaction, whatever. Okay. Any transaction also, you have posted this transaction, you can't delete this voucher.
Okay, just one point I want to understand. You said very rightly, if the code is existing, it will not allow you to create another account.
If what? Yeah, if the code, yeah.
Code is existing, but if the same name is existing, will it allow? It won't.
Yeah.
So system controls that.
The code.
Same description, same code.
No, the system control only the code, not the description.
Description it doesn't.
Yeah.
That is the question. Okay.
Yeah. For all system is dependent on the code. For example, vendor code, customer codes, main accounts code, item codes. It's this account is not. You can't create same account with different types. You have one code per each for items, one code for vendor, one code for customer, whatever.
So this applies to sub ledger also and main.
Yes.
General ledger.
AP, AR, fixed asset, items, projects.
Okay.
You can't repeat.
Okay. So one supplier can have 2 vendor accounts if somebody opens it with the same description. System checks it or not?
No.
That's the question.
Not check.
System doesn't check.
Okay. This is the chart of accounts. Okay, as we have said, it's mandatory to take a look for chart